So let's start the game. The Union gets to play 3 cards on the board. And I wonder what that was. I look at my suits, as it were. Okay. If I play artillery, it has to be on the field. No, I got an advantage here. If it's sunken roll, I can re-roll a number of dice matching these symbols at the location. So if I were to put a couple of these on the board with Hooker, that would be useful. Here's a problem. I have a brigade sitting here. But I may have enough oomph to just take this battle. So I'm going to put my artillery over there where it's allowed. I keep the 4 remaining cards in my hand. Now the Confederates have the same option. Let's sort them out. Well, I got generals. Generals aren't, well, I do need one. And I got a fistful of different shapes. So I'm not going to get a brigade anywhere. I definitely want to put an artillery down. I like the idea of more fire there. I would like to get a general over there. I'll cav hit better if deployed on a flank. I get to re-roll according to the burst. So I'm going to put Jubal early there. That gives me 2. And I'll put Jackson here. That's not necessarily, that's not a harmful play because I can withdraw him but if I get another general. Okay. Union, all right, the game's ready to play. We start with Union player finishing order phase after the attack. Attach new troop section 2 since they just completed that step and setup. Oh, okay, we can't do this. Sorry. So I put I put a gun down and I put a leader down. That's not optimal. Do I have any cav? I have 1 cav. So I can't face those 2 units with just Stonewall Jackson. That's the problem. I'm going to put early there. Jackson doesn't really help me here unless I put the artillery down. So I will put my infantry down. I thought we started out with the draw 2 cards and get more things, but that is not the case. It says after the attach new troops section 2, which is this, the second part of phase 2. Okay, now we can line them up into corps or into brigades, which we don't do because we don't have any. We could withdraw damaged units. No. We could give up. We could give up the whole game. Okay. So now we go to phase 3, which is the combat phase to the game. And the Confederates have, no, the Union has the initiative. I have a heavy artillery. I'll fire that over there. Now the burst number is 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll be hitting this unit first. That's the only unit I can hit. I only hit on a 6 because I don't have a leader or anything. I do not get a 6. I have no bonuses. Over here, I have a die roll, which will hit on a 5 or a 6 because of the leader, but I can re-roll it up to 4 times. And the burst is, oops, Hooker has to go to the back. Generals have to be in the back. That was something we learned. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be on the Pennsylvania unit. And I'm almost certain to get a hit with this. That's 1. And now I get 4 re-rolls. If any of them hit, it counts, and since I only have one unit, I'm just going to roll all 4 rerolls at once. I got a hit. Okay. Now we go to if there were any cav. There aren't any heavy cav. And now we start working our way down. There's no infantry here. Infantry here, it doesn't matter who has the initiative, but the Union. Now, Joe Hooker is allowed to re-roll 2 dice because I have these. I get an extra die because I'm defending the cornfield. So 3 dice looking for 5s because I have a leader. I got 1 hit. I'm going to re-roll 2 dice. I get a total of 1 hit. The Confederates can place this on either unit. It doesn't really matter, they're the same. And the Confederates get to roll back. They need 6s. They get no hits. There's a lot of die rolling in this game. We had no hit generals, no units to be destroyed, disband brigades, flip captured flags. None of that happens. Which means we're ready to go to the second turn of the game. Yay. Okay, for that second turn, the first thing we do is we flip a card. Clara Barton. Return up to 3 Union injured cards to reserve. I don't have to do any of this, but it's generally a good thing. Now, if I look at my hand, I don't feel like I need all these clubs there. So I'm going to pull him and get that bonus. Initiative doesn't change, nothing else changes, so we go back to the orders phase where you get 2 cards plus 1 per brigade that you have on the board. Now, the Sunken Road is in play now, and that's kind of important because D.H. Hill gives a bonus there. But it's more field that I have to deal with. What do we got? And I didn't really need to, well, so the bonus of this card is I returned it to my hand before I'm drawing new cards and playing more units. So I could actually just flush that unit back in. So I have no brigade, so I have 2 cards coming in. And we'll take a look at what we got. We got our brigade here ready. And we got some loose units. Okay. I would like to get this entire brigade down. Here's the problem. I can't put it here because I don't have a leader. So all I would have is 3 loose units there. Whew. I may want to reserve some units for Antietam Creek. This is kind of the danger of being the initiative player, especially early in the game. I have to make some choices. Jeez, but he has that advantage. God, I really wish I had a leader in my hand. I'm going to go big, like this. I'll put this regiment here. I've got the cornfield. I've got all of this up here, including a cav, which, if it was on the side, would be more potent. And I'm going to play these 2 over here. Do I want to hold this in reserve, or do I want to just keep hitting as hard as I can? Because if I win an area, that's potent, but I'll put it out. Okay. That puts it on the Confederates, and we get, well, look at that. Okay, so we got some interesting stuff here. So I've got, if I use this as a light artillery, so here's the problem. I've got Hill here. He gets a bonus from a particular type of card, but I can replace him there. Put him back here. He's available to be reused, but I'm not quite sure what restrictions are going to be put in place. I got a email back from the designer, and he's happy I found that one. Yeah, he's happy with everything I found, actually, which is very cool. I got a Cav here that I can give to Jubal early. With that card being a 1, I'm going to position them like this. This isn't quite the time to do that. I got an extra artillery. Wow. So D.H. Hill doesn't help me. So I'll pull him back. I'm close to losing that cornfield. I'm worried I'm going to lose it. Which means maybe I want to put my artillery over here on the front, on the flank, and concentrate on the sunken road. The sunken road is incredibly important because it's the initiative space. So if I can keep stars on the sunken road, I can grab the initiative more often. And if I've won the sunken road, the other guy can play to it, but he's not going to recapture it. So it's likely that I'll be able to have more stars there. In fact, without even wanting them. So I'm going to actually more or less give up Miller's Cornfield. Okay, that puts us on the Union has no cards left. Confederates have 1. Not really where you want to be. Medic, I could pull this guy. I've got a lot of firepower coming in there with a lot of rerolls. I am going to be doing, in my opinion at least, 3 hits with this. It only takes 3 hits to wipe this out. What's he going to get? He's going to get 2 rerolls. He's got a brigade, which means he hits on 4, 5s, and 6s. I'm going to pull this out. I am going to completely surrender the cornfield. Well, I've got a unit there, but that's okay. All right. Now we go to... the Union has nothing. They could have withdrawn anyway. Now we go to, well, I could strategic withdraw, which means I could actually just pull out of here. And that would, I think, completely flummox this whole position. Yeah, why don't we do that? Because again, I'm not sure what the oh, let me see. Let me see if I found something in those flank rolls that I liked. So it's this sentence here. If the so after we talk about if a flank space is open and in your opponent's open flank, if at any time you're unopposed in a flank, you are considered to be in a flank space and in your opponent's open flank. Thus, the units next to the open flank are now adjacent. And heavy cavalry, infantry in your flank can fire at units next to that flank, and heavy cavalry may attack the units next to it or next one over. Heavy artillery may attack the units next to it or next to, in effect leaving your flank open, increasing your opponent's range. If the next terrain were also open, you would be adjacent to the next actual defended line. I don't think there's anything that says the units in the cornfield become part of the flank or are able to have any kind of flanking ability. So I'm going to just give that up. Screw them. Now, if I were able to wipe this whole force out, I don't think either side captures the cornfield. That's not spelled out clearly, but I feel pretty comfortable with that. So now we go to the Union artillery gets to fire. Well, the Union artillery can fire all the way over. It may even actually be able to fire into the next flank because this is empty. But what do I want to do? I want to weaken the damage that's done by Stonewall Jackson here. Sorry, leaders have to be at number 1. Clara Barton's at 1. I'm going to actually reposition this way because of that. So Jackson is almost certainly unable to get hurt. Let's see. Do I want to shoot at that, or do I want to shoot across here, where I'd be hitting these cavalry? Hey, they got a star on them. Let's shoot the cav. Yeah, no, the cav's just going to hit me there. Let's shoot this line. I don't get a hit. Okay, we go to the Confederate Artillery, and they have 2 artillery, and I have to keep track of him because he has the ability to reroll only 1 die this turn, because that's the burst number. Where do I want to shoot? I'm allowed to shoot up to 2 rows with that. You know, I gave up Miller's Cornfield. I'm going to shoot this up. Anything I hit here, I'm just allowing to withdraw. And the Union put such a commitment there, I'm just going to give it to them. So we're going to shoot over here. Our cav, I can throw that on the battery. I get 1 hit. We don't have a brigade. And I could re-roll. I'm going to re-roll this die. It's the only re-roll I get. I get 1 hit. It has to be on the first unit. All right. Now we go to cavalry, and there's only 1 heavy cav. I am not allowed to go beyond this with the cav, so I'm going to go attack that battery because, again, I don't want to weaken those units. And that's a miss. Now we go to the lines. These guys have nothing facing them. They're not able to attack anything. Terrible. And then over here, I'll roll the Union first. They get 3 dice with no bonuses that I can see. And they need 6s to hit. They get nothing. Now we go over here. Stonewall Jackson, his cavalry, I have to roll separately because it hits. Oh, he didn't get a cavalry in there. Shit. Why did I put him here there? I was thinking I was going to put the cav there. Okay. Well, I needed a general there. I could have had D.H. Hill there, but... so I get 3 dice looking for 4s, 5s, and 6s. I get 2 hits, no re-rolls. Well, 4, 5, or 6 anyway. Okay. No worries. 2 hits, no re-rolls. I don't believe I'm allowed to hit this. I thought this was a leader, which would cause me issues, but okay. And we're done with the second turn of the game. Third turn opens up the rest of the field. Antietam Creek Bridge and the other flank. Take a break. Flip a card. The taking of Dunkirk Church. Kirk, yes. Player with the initiative may put this card next to 1 infantry unit at the cornfield. Oh, I forgot to mark. This is taken. It is also defended for whatever that's worth. For this turn, that unit took the church and can't be injured. Even artillery misses. Misses? Wonder if it's the burst target. Like, and add +3 dice instead of 1 for that card's attack roll. Okay. Well, this doesn't mean much. I'll put it on an infantry. The reason it doesn't... Oh, let me check this. He gets his bonus only at the sunken road. Shit. I made decisions based on that. Well, the burst number is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make this guy unable to be hit, which I think... I have no idea how this is to be resolved. So if it was heavy artillery firing, the 4 would say it can't be hit. It says even artillery misses, which sounds like you waste the shot. But remember, you can collect shots. You get to allocate your shots where you want. So if that's the case, there's something weird going on with this. I don't feel like it should just make the entire line invulnerable because I put it on the 4th unit, the unit that would get hit first. I don't feel like I should be able to keep selecting that unit. On the other hand, I kind of feel like the intention is that it would absorb a hit. So I don't really know what to do about that. I'm going to tilt these so that I remember that they are not the actual number. And then we go to attach troops, which means 2 cards come out. The Union gets a circle unit. We would like... And I get Franklin. If 2 or more units at his location, he gets +2 attack dice. Well, I mean, I could put him here, but then he's stuck there. But the advantage of putting him there is I can get Hooker out of there. So, but I got to get to Antietam Creek. Shit. And I don't really want... I want Hooker at the Sunken Road where he has an advantage. I have almost no troops. This is the problem. This line is badly mauled. I think the Union's in trouble. Because the Confederates have more cards. And... yeah. So now I draw 2 Confederate cards. And D.H. Hill loves the Sunken Road. I've got a brigade, though. Okay. So I am going to put D.H. Hill back here so that I get Stonewall Jackson. I'll be putting here along with this force. That gives me a brigade there and a cav, but it doesn't matter. I have a brigade. And I have this 10th Virginia. Do I want to... where do I want to throw that in? So we're able to export a lot of power there. This is a cav. So one of the hard choices is, what do you put on the flanks and what do you not? The first fire advantage is quite good, but if I put this in with already formed forces, I get bonuses on my roll to hit. Now, I don't want this here because it'll be beating up on them or maybe that battery, and I don't care about that. The other thing about putting it at a location is it's available to absorb hits, so I'm not going to lose that location. I definitely want to put it somewhere. Kind of doesn't matter where. How many hits do I need in each? This is just a general there. Let me put it over here with Hill. And I kind of don't care where. The number is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How do I want to arrange these? That's just perfect. I want the cav to be the thing that's hit. Okay. All right, so the Confederates may win the game on this turn. That would be incredibly fast. And the game that I had almost went through the deck. So, the previous one I played. So now we're at attach new troops, organize brigades, medic. Okay. The Union could pull these 2 units off the line. I think that's wise, because I think I'm just going to lose the Sunken Road. How many am I allowed to pull? I'm allowed to pull up to 3, but it's by brigades as well. So I've got 1 brigade and not. I can pull 2 units. I'll pull these 2 off the line and just hope that that holds. Well, this looks really hopeless is my problem. And I had no capability to withdraw these units. And will never, because there's no opposing units there. The only way I can get an advantage on them is if this gets wiped out and there's a cav over here picking those guys off, or if I get an event card that allows me. This is the danger to grabbing something strongly. Okay. The Union artillery gets to fire. What do I want to shoot at? Well, I can only shoot, actually I can shoot all the way out. Okay, we're going to shoot back here. Hey, the number is 4. That gets me on to Stonewall Jackson. Awesome. But I don't roll a 6, so not awesome. Okay. Over to his artillery, his heavy artillery. He's got 2 of them. He's got 4 rerolls. Where do I want my artillery to shoot? They're allowed to shoot here or here, and that's it. I don't have the outflanking bonus. It's kind of a waste. I'm going to shoot his battery. Actually, I think I could split them. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I want to take injuries here. So I'm going to shoot his battery with 2 artillery. I do not get any 6s. I'll take 2 rerolls. I still don't. 2 more rerolls. Okay, I got 1 6. Starting to get that thing down. And now I've got a cav. No more rerolls left. The cav hits because I have a leader. So this card is damaged. Well, it's destroyed. It's already gotten its shot, so I'm going to take it off the board so it doesn't confuse me. Okay, that's the flanking units. Now we came over here. All of these have nothing to shoot at. Terrible. Let's just put this here. Okay. Coming over here, the Union has 1 shot with their unit, and they do not hit. The Confederates have, D.H. Hill doesn't give me anything because I don't have any of these guys. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 dice. Well, I hit the hell out of that. It's already fired, so I'm going to flip it out of there. Then over here, and the Union only gets 1 die. I don't have 2 or more diamonds with me. I get a hit. We'll take it on some infantry. But they get to roll back with only 3 dice. I'm hitting on 4, 5, and 6. I'm probably not going to take the bridge. In fact, I'm not able. Oh yeah, I am able to. Okay, close. 2 hits. Well, so my choices are to destroy this unit or to take a hit on that unit and lose the leader. If I lose the leader, I have to lose a whole bunch of cards, or I just lose a leader. I'm gonna do this, and that means I'm not gonna throw 3 cards away. I'm gonna lose General Franklin. He's too expensive to regain. The Confederates have gained something. Now, this is weird. They don't have the defensive advantage here. I don't know quite how to indicate who owns what. I could do it this way. I was putting him in the back of the command before, but I think it is kind of important that he has a +1 bonus there. Now where are we? We're at the start of another turn. I'll put the dice here, and I'm going to take a little break. Okay, so now the Union is behind the 8 ball, and mainly because I put all these units here. That turned out to be a huge mistake because you can run away. That means there's a lot of Confederate units sitting at Antietam Creek, and not a lot of Union units that are there. Let's see what the event is. Maybe it'll save their bacon. Morale boost, Northern Rally. Confederate draw 1 less card this turn. Okay. Well, that'll help a little. The Union also has cards available, and they get 2 draws plus 1 for their brigade. Now let's see what they got here. I did not draw anything that's going to help me with a set. The game is down to one thing, though. The only other location of any interest is the flank. Yeah, that flank is too. And actually the Confederates are stymied by this location. They can't cut through here. So all these Confederate units are kind of out of play. I think I just put the line in here. I don't have any cavalry or artillery. So let's put, kind of doesn't matter what order. I can't do anything with my leaders because I don't have an additional leader in hand. So that's it. Now for the Confederates, they draw their 2 cards plus 1 minus 1. So just 2 cards. And I get a D.H. Hill likes this, but only at the Sunken Road. And I have no leaders, so I can't withdraw him. I get a plus infantry. I am just going to toss these infantry again into the line here. I can't withdraw these. I can't withdraw those. I think I must attack. I'm not positive about that, which means I may be able to hurt some of these units. Let me see. Yeah, it just says fires. It doesn't say may fire. So I'm going to say, yes, I must find a target. Okay. And I suspect that maybe these are meant to be able to do flanking maneuvers. I can't find anything in the rule that supports that. So I'm going to keep going with the way I've got it. But if these guys were able to, like, continue to attack adjacent areas, that would change the whole surrender an area, no big deal, thinking, right? And concentrate on another area and just get the flag captured. I've got some issues with the way that represents, though, in general, no matter how you do it. Nothing on the field should be permanently captured, is my feeling, but that's what the victory conditions are, so it would take some effort to fix that. Okay, so heavy artillery first. Well, the Union has nothing on the flanks, so we have 2 heavy artillery. I'm allowed to reroll. It doesn't say I must reroll, so I can try to get misses, which is to my advantage. So I got 2 heavy artillery. I'm looking at 5s and 6s with them. I get no hits. I'm not going to reroll that. Then we go to the heavy cavalry, and same thing. I get a miss. I'm not going to reroll. I do not want to hurt those units. That's the only way that they can end up on anywhere usable on the field. Okay, then we go here. Well, here. Nothing can happen. Over here. What do we got? We got 2, 3, 4. I think the Union has 6 dice and nothing special going for them. Okay, only 6s hit, so all I get is 1 hit on the Confederates. Let me look around, see what I want to hit. I do not want to hit my brigade, so, and I can't take the hit on here, so I'll just take a hit on this. I don't know, there's a lot of pluses out. Let's take a hit on that. Okay, for the Confederates, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 dice. All of them brigade capable. So Stonewall Jackson's ability doesn't come into play because I'm already rolling for 4, 5s, and 6s. And I get 1 hit. Where do I care where the Union gets it? Ugh. Take it up on that. Okay. So the battle is not yet won. Which means we can go to another flip. Rebel Yell! A battle cry causes Union confusion. The Union draws one less card this turn. I did shuffle. In fact, those are cards I have not seen before. And that gets me a 6, which means I have to figure out what that even means with the messes that I'm starting to create. Okay, Union draw. 2, 3. Drops down to 2. I have a cav and an artillery, but I could go to brigade bonus there. And I think I will. I think I'll place these here. So there's no real advantage to the heavy artillery here. Let's say I put this heavy artillery on the flank. And I'm not going to be able to get the brigade bonus because I don't have a leader there. If the heavy artillery is on the flank, all that means is it gives me more opportunities of where to fire, and it first fires. First fire could be important if things get close. The same thing's true of the cav. I want to make sure that I have a brigade set up here, but I also want to make sure I have as much as possible. I'll put the artillery over there. I don't think that's going to hurt. For the Confederates, 2 base cards, +1 for a brigade. No penalty this time. And we get a bunch of leaders. Okay. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about Jeb Stuart here. If deployed to a flank, units there may reroll all 1s. That's fine. There was one that may reroll all 2s that has this same symbol, and it really should show a 2 on the face of the die. That would be a little bit more understandable. This is not the card. Okay. So, when played on Sunken Road, Union must discard 1 infantry from that location. So I can put him here, kill an infantry, but then I'd lose Pendleton to firepower, and he could just go off on his own with a sword. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these 1st Texas infantry here. I have no reason to remove him. I have no reason to remove him. I really like him there, actually. And since I have nothing on the flank, do I really want Jackson here? Jackson's a 1-point leader, so he can get injured less painfully. So the Confederates didn't get a lot of reinforcements, which is a good sign for them. Let's go back to the artilleries. The Union has the initiative, so they get to fire their artillery first. How am I going to order these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't want to kill that unit. Yeah, I'll do it in this order, so this guy will take the hit if there is one. I get a 5, that's not going to hit. Over here, I got the same thing where I don't want to hit because I'll end up hurting units that I don't want to hurt. So that's 2 artillery, looking for 5s. Okay, I got 6 rerolls though, so. Okay, we succeeded with that. Then we go to the cav. Now I've used up 2 of my rerolls. I would mark that like this. But the cav also has to take a shot. And it misses, so I don't have to re-roll that. Down these lines, nothing can happen. Over here, the Union. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dice. But looking for 6s because there's no leadership. Woo! Got one. Where does the Confederate want to take that loss? Oh, shit. We could have withdrawn units. Yeah. Yeah. Let me think about withdrawing. Union would have had to make up the first choice. So withdrawing units means less dice, which means less hurting. I don't think I wanted to withdraw. I think once you get to this point in the game, it becomes much, much harder to pull units from the line. It does allow them to heal, but I got a lot of spaces where I can take damage. So I think I'll hold what I'm doing. Where does the Confederate want to take its hit? Kind of don't want to chew up this poor brigade that I've got. So we'll put it on this unit. You know what I could do? I could put it on Stonewall Jackson. Because I got people I don't need here. I got Pendleton. He's fucking useless. Let's kill him instead. Because I'm allowed to discard any card, if I recall correctly, with generals. I don't think it has to be... Let's find it. Any general hit must discard the number of cards equal to his survivor number, and then he goes back to the battle line. He can come from the battle line where the general is, or from reserves. Yeah, I'm going to take the hit. Well, why do it now? Screw it. I want to keep cards. It gives me options for shifting stuff, I think. I don't know. Okay, but for the Confederates, 2, 4, 6 dice. Not quite as much. But I need 4s to hit, because I have a full brigade there. And I get 4 hits on the Union. This is not good. 1, 2... Why would I not take it on the Cav? Let's take it on the Cav. It's more flexible there. Okay. That's that. Still nothing has changed hands. That'll put me to yet another turn. I'm going to take a break on that yet another turn. You're going to have to excuse me a little bit. My energy is even lower than usual. It was a rough day. My router went out last night just as I was going to bed. And I ended up, and going to bed late, of course, as always. I ended up staying up a couple hours trying to cope, trying to figure out what the hell was wrong. And had to call off work today and go get another router. And a walk for me nowadays means thinking about things that cause my head to hurt and cause me great grief. So, whatever. Let's push on. Supplies at Newcomer Farm. Supplies taken from local farms help fuel the soldiers. Both players may remove 1 injured unit from a battle line to your reserve. This happens immediately. So again, this is a bonus. These are units that can be pulled off the field and then deployed in the same turn. Definitely want to do that. Let's take a quick look. What would I want to take? Well, the thing I most want to save for the Union is the units of their brigade. And for the rebels, this is the closest to a brigade. Oh no, this is my brigade. Let's save that. That's going to be hard to replace. Ugh. Okay, problem. We'll get less cards if we do this. Hold on. Don't necessarily want to do that. We can always take hits on other places. So the Union definitely only has 1 brigade in play. We will pull something else off the board. And same thing with the Confederates. Confederates have 1. Okay, this is close to a brigade. This is the one I want to pull. Confederates have 2 brigades on the board, so they're kind of golden right now. Okay. In a lot of ways. That gets me to... Unions still have the initiative. They get 2 cards plus 1, 2 brigades on the board. So they're actually eating cards at a fast rate now. Let me put these over here so they don't get too confused. I get another brigade. Awesome. Okay. Infantry, artillery. There's nothing on the flank here. I've got a flank unit there. Let's lay another brigade down. This doesn't give me more dice, but let's put another artillery there for first fire effects. Why am I doing this? I don't know. Let's put this here. That'll give me some room that I can pull a unit off. And let's put this here. Okay. God knows what the ordering is for bursts from artillery on that. For the Confederates, 2 cards plus 1, 2 brigades. Also getting a pile of cards. Okay, so I got some leaders. We knew about that. I got some shields. Okay, let's take a look. Definitely want to put these shields here. Get me yet another brigade. That's more cards. Quicker flow, more firepower on the line. That's hugely important. I haven't gotten additional leaders here. I don't have any flank. I don't have anything that's really good on the flank. I could have put this there, but I want this additional brigade for what it creates. These triangles don't really help me. I could put them all over there and create a brigade and get more die rolls. But again, that's just going to loosen up units that I don't really want fighting. So I'll put them down. What about this plus? Let's just put that down. More dice, more damage, right? Okay. Alrighty. Now we get to withdraw things. And again, it's based on brigades. So the Union has 1, 2 brigades is enough. That allows you to withdraw 3 units. Definitely going to pull this back. That gets me a damaged unit, but leaves my brigade in place. Actually, screw that. Remember, I wanted the cav instead, because I might want to put it over here. I might be able to get a brigade over there. That would be potent. But I still don't have a fucking leader for the Union. That's part of what's killing me. Is the draws for the leaders have been completely against the Union here. You don't want too many. The Confederates have too many. Do not want to take this off the board. There's a lot of clubs over there, so I'm not likely to get that. So I'll put that over as my unit. And these are all on the Antietam Creek side. Did I just withdraw 3 units? Am I allowed to withdraw 3? Something tells me I'm only allowed to withdraw up to 2. Up to 3, yeah. Okay, so for the Confederates, same thing. I have at least 2 brigades, so I can pull up to 2 units off the board. This is not part of a brigade, so I can get rid of this. This is part of a brigade. It's going to cut into my capability to draw if I take this off, but I am going to leave it. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, I'd rather have the draws. Okay, so we go back to the many die rolls. Union still has the initiative, 2 dice from their artillery. All my dice are at 6s because Hooker is standing there in the cornfield sticking his thumb up his ass. We get no hits. Over to the Confederates, have to fire. Can only fire at the cornfield. So I got 2 artillery, and we got 3 rerolls this time. No hits. There's only 1 heavy cav. Not a hit. Okay, zip, up to here. Union has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dice. That's all of them. Should be using littler dice. Looking for 6s. I get 1 hit. Confederates will take that hit on this loose unit. Right? Do I have a regiment there? Or a brigade there? No. Not yet. Okay. For the Confederates, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dice, but 4s and more hit. That's 7. Roll 5. That's 1 hit. It's 4 hits on the Union. Whew. Bop, 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 bop. 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess. All right. Like I said, the attrition, it's going to go against the Union until they can get a leader up there and be able to roll on par. The Confederates haven't been getting many hits recently, so that has not happened. Okay. We also haven't seen initiative change. There were several initiative cards the last time I played. So, where are we? We're at the end, and we flip another one. And it's an initiative roll. Okay. So, first thing is, these officially go to the middle. I'll leave them facing their person. And this is here. Who has the initiative? Well, whoever's at the sunken road with the most stars, that's the Confederates. And they get to pick something, they'll pick this. The Union will take this because what the hell? I don't know. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference. Maybe I want to actually take this and say I'm defending this. Defending this victory point area that I lost. Because if I throw units in there, no, I don't want to dislodge those. Never mind. Okay, whatever. Yeah, it's irrelevant. Those are lost territories. So, that's that. Now it's 2 cards plus 1 per brigade. I'm at 1, 2, 3 brigades, so 5 new cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. The Union's got to be getting a leader at some point, right? There's one. There's another one. Didn't I? I thought French was the guy I had. No, Franklin. Okay. Alrighty. So, I got 2 leaders. French, if deployed at the sunken road or a flank, his units reroll all 2s. Oh, this is one that doesn't have the die reroll marker at all on it, which should be there. Yeah, I should not be doing this. The Union does not have the initiative anymore. I forgot to flip it. They did their draw. It won't change anything there. But for the Confederate draw, we have 2, 3, 4, 5 cards as well. And that's a big pile of cards. All right. Okay. So what do I got here? I can increase this brigade. That'll help. I can put this brigade down. That'll help. Okay. I have some cav. That cav could go pick on the artillery. Pendleton doesn't help. Stuart allows me to reroll 1s. I am going to say that this is this flank for the Confederates. Do I want to put some infantry to back them up? I'll put another brigade down. That I'll do. Got this 4th and 5th Texas. I'm going to actually put them with it. You know, that doesn't really do me any good. I don't like just having one cav here. Like the artillery will just pummel me. But I do want the cav there. The initiative roll is a 3. That means Stuart is going to take the first hit. Yeah, this is not the turn to be out there with these units. Okay. So, we'll keep the cav and Stuart in reserve for more stuff, and we'll put this over here with the rest of the brigade. And Pendleton isn't doing anything. Okay. Not that the artillery is likely to hit, but I don't know, because the Union gets a fistful of cards, and two guys who like the flank. That's going to change things. All right. So with nothing on the flank over there, the burst is 3. I think this is the more useful commander. Put him on the flank there. We're going to put French up there in command of that. Squares, I don't have any. Hold on. Stars, I'm going to put a star down. Yeah, I know it's cav. It could be more useful. Huh. I could get close to a brigade there. If I withdraw a unit, that would be interesting. Let's put a cav up there. Okay. The square infantry I'm definitely putting here. What about this cav? Well, again, I'm close to a brigade. If I pull units off, I could get brigade strength on both tables if I'm lucky. All right, we're definitely going to put this one over here. The infantry we'll put there. No harm in that. What about this light cav? Okay, so I think I want one of these over here. We'll see. All right, so now we've played both, right? The Confederates kept a handful of cards, most of them leaders. And now it's time to withdraw wounded. The Confederates get to withdraw first. I could break up this regiment. I can definitely break this regiment up. No harm in doing that. In terms of draw. I'm not actually breaking it up. I think I'll leave this guy there. I've got so many pieces on the board. What is going to happen? How is this game going to end? Normally it ends when you get two things, but... And that seemed like it was going to happen, but now I could see these two huge armies fighting over Antietam Creek, you know, not getting enough die rolls to wipe each other out. Because there's so many units there that you don't get any hits on any units, right? You don't get any hits, I mean you don't get any kills. You get plenty of hits, but I'm able to recover units and keep the flow going, and as long as all the cards are kind of in one place, that's going to be a big deal. Let me see how the game ends if it doesn't end. And there may not be an answer to that. Okay, I gotta look through the rules again. This is all by card, so it wouldn't be here. The general's rule seemed like it was something to do with the specifics, but it actually contained an important rule in it that I did not like being there. Do we have when the game ends? I know we do, but we have combat, reassign. set up. The game is ready. Orders, combat. This is why I don't like these rules. It's hard to find some general concepts in them. Yeah, I can't find that rule. Let me keep looking. I know there's somewhere where it says how you win the game, you know, but that's all I know. The only place in the rules where I find anything having to do with the end is the first player to capture 2 terrain flags. For the shorter game, maybe the first player. In this weird little starburst, not anywhere else. I may have to quit at some point because I am actually worried that this game will keep going once the deck runs out. And I have entered into a pathological situation. And it's not because these units are locked in where they are. Contrarily, it's actually that there's so many units on the board in one location for both sides that the battle is unendable. And that is a highly unacceptable result. Where the fuck I am in the turn. Jesus. I really don't know what I did. I think I withdrew Confederate units. I withdrew 2 Confederate units. I should be able to withdraw a third one. Okay. Do I want to is the question. I chose not to. So now to the Union, I'm allowed to withdraw 3. And again, I can't withdraw these. They're not damaged, right? That's why I keep not trying to hurt them. For the Union, what do I want to withdraw? I actually think I want to withdraw one of these to get brigade functionality over on the first strike, for whatever that's worth. These are all infantry, so we'll withdraw one of them. I do not terribly want to withdraw those, so I'll withdraw these. And the army's gotten a lot smaller here. Well, the to-hit numbers have gone up. The Union now gets more hit chances. Let's see what this all means. So the first thing is we're on the Confederates first. They get to fire their artillery. They have 2 artillery with 3 rerolls. It can't go any further than here, so we'll keep trying not to hit. Okay, we're going to need to reroll that 6. We're going to need to reroll it again. Okay, and then the I kind of want to do the cav, but I shouldn't be. I should be following the rules here. He's got 2 artillery that fires, and he's got up to 3 rerolls. Now let me keep that 2 rerolls here. I need that. I'm going to fire at these guys. I certainly don't want to fire at these. I could. Oh God, I have no idea. So how did he align his forces? I have no fucking clue. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I don't know. I don't know how much it matters. So this will be the initial point. So 2 artillery, but I need 4, 5, and 6s. No, 5s or 6s because I don't have a brigade there yet. I get 1 hit. I'll re-roll one of those. I got 3 re-rolls. I'll re-roll one of those. Okay, I got 2 hits. So the first one was 1, 2, 3, and then we'll take the second hit up there. Now we go to the cav again. The Confederates have 1 die for cav. I hit, so I want to try to avoid that. I hit again, and I can't avoid this one. This means the Union gets to take a hit on someone. Who do they want to take the hit on? It is their choice. I believe they want to take it on a club rather than a diamond. I have a club in hand, so I will... Ooh, I got cavalry. Heavy cav is cool. Okay, that's his rerolls. We go back to him. He has one reroll left. He has 2 heavy cav. They can strike this. Now, the Union gets to decide where they get hurt, and these are 5s and 6s. I get 1 hit. I'll use my last reroll. I get 2 hits, which the Union has to decide upon, or the Confederates have to decide upon. What do we want? Let's look at our hand. I have an infantry I could replace this with. I'll put 1 on this cav, and 1 on this artillery. I'm going to pull these out and put them on the flank, I think. I hope. I don't know. We'll see. Alrighty, now... That was the Union cav. Do the Union have any infantry here? Did I slip any in yet? Not yet. Okay. Now, and Confederates over here. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 dice, all at 4s, 5s, and 6s. I'm going to roll these without the camera. That's 6 hits on the Union. Now, do I have a leader? I do not. So I kind of don't want to get French killed. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now comes the problem. I think I can only put 1 hit on French. Again, the rolls don't seem to indicate that. If I do, that kills 3 of my cards, and I don't have cards I want to dispose of, so I'm going to have to lose 2 of my cards. Maybe this battle will end. Circles. I got a circle over there. No. Okay, so I can lose a square. Squares are not any good. And I could afford to lose a star because I'm moving that over. Let's lose a star. Okay. Now for the Union, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 2 dead guys get to fire back at 4, 5s, and 6s because I have brigade strength. Like this battle is going to end. That's 3 hits on the Confederates. I don't know where I want to take those because it's getting complicated. I have these 2. The infantry, I don't know. The infantry I probably want to put back. And a little weird Pinticapu. I'm going to be pulling this out, so I don't particularly want to take more of these. I don't know if it matters. You can see, though, the Union's starting to take more losses, and that's a losing proposition. Part of that may be because I've got these here. Ooh, I had another die for the Confederates. I didn't count the Antietam Bridge die. That would have been another hit on the Union. I think I can kill that. Okay. Yeah, you can see the Union is seriously getting into trouble. And over here is not really hurting them. Those units over there get to first fire on these. So it's not like, you know, I've still got a fair number of forces between both lines, but by putting to the flank, I have risked my defense of Antietam Bridge more. All right, my batteries are running low in more ways than one, so that may be it for tonight. Let's get started on another turn. Backup arrives. If either player has a general in reserve, play him to the battlefield and draw 2 more cards to reserve. That's awesome. right? I mean, so let's take a look. The Confederates have the initiative right now. I have generals in reserve. This doesn't hurt me because, remember, later in the turn I can replace that general. So I can just put him anywhere I like, except I don't particularly want to move him. If played at the sunken road, Union must discard 1 infantry from that location. They don't have one. If deployed on a flank, re-roll a die roll of 1. I don't want to put him on a flank on his own. Well, let's just put Jeb here, and that gets me 2 more cards. Probably not a big deal. We're at the end of the deck already. Yeah. Let me just not do it then, because I like Pendleton here with his, or not Pendleton, I like Early here with his ability to re-roll. These special abilities feel funny to me. So like, they don't feel like they're aligned to anything in particular, except for the ones who like get rid of a unit if you're at this specific location or whatever. That at least is trying to focus that you should go to that location. Given that Burnside's was particularly ineffective where you get a bonus for him, I don't know about that, but the Union do not have a leader, and this is a problem. The Union have a big enough deck that could matter. I don't know, I think they actually have a larger deck, and I know they have more core formations, so it's harder for them to brigade, which has a definite effect on play. Again, I don't know how well it links to the reality. So that means the Confederates draw 2 cards plus 1 per brigade they have on the board. They get their hand, or their entire deck. And they haven't lost any units. Okay. So this is the end of the line. We got Longstreet. If on a flank, his men may re-roll any number of dice matching a couple of symbols. That's interesting. You may re-roll any of your combat dice once. Well, that's probably more powerful than Longstreet's. But that doesn't have to be at a flank. So let's take a look at our leaders. I'm going to put Hood in the main command here. That brings Jackson back. What else am I doing? Can't do anything with these guys. These guys. So here's the problem. I could start pulling units out and creating a flank force, which could start eating up the Union flank force. And I think that's actually appealing. But I got to make sure I keep at least 1 brigade in play down here. So I have this card, and I have these 2. These 2 don't do me a damn thing, do they? They don't match with anything on here. So I'm going to put these 2 in my flank. I'll put Longstreet here, which gives me a desire to pull this unit out, but I'm not sure I want to do that yet. What about this unit? I'll put this guy here. I'm still not getting the, let's put him with the rest of these. I don't know. I'm still not getting the recovery. Like, I got to get this thing hit. I'm not really thrilled with putting so few units up there. That's the problem. Is that this flank could overrun my flank. I have initiative rolls here, but they're almost certain to do that. What happens if I just hold these cards until I have a bigger hand? I feel like I still have the advantage on beating up the Union. I may have the chance to not put a weakness in play here. That's what I'm going to go with. Now for the Union, it's 2 cards plus 1 per brigade. There's 1 brigade, 2 brigades. So I get 4 cards, I think. And yeah, they still have a pile. All right. Let me think. And yes, I'm going into so much detail in this playthrough. Part of that is I just feel like that's useful in playtest to give as much as I can to the designer. Okay, squares. I see nothing, so we will think. Those are both infantry. They're probably going to just go on the line there. Circles. It's 2 infantry. I could get a brigade in here from that, but I could instead get a brigade with this, which I think would be more useful. So I'm going to brigade this into there. That lets me roll on better dice over on the flank. I definitely need more units over here. I'm counting on there are probably more circles in the game. So I'm going to put these guys over there with no problem. And the infantry circles over here as well. Because I need to buff this up so that it's not just destroyed by the overwhelming quantity of Confederate units. And similarly, I'll put, I'll split these. I'll put the artillery up here where it gives me an advantage. Okay. Woohoo! We got damage. Awesome. Okay. That puts me to the medic side. Who do the Confederates want to pull first? Jesus. I knew a moment ago. Okay, all I have is these 2. These guys, I thought I had a brigade I was ready to put into play. Yeah, I'd like to get a brigade out. I'm allowed to withdraw up to 3 units. Do I have any non-infantry in the game over here? I have non-infantry in this unit. Shit, but I can't withdraw that whole unit. But I could legitimately withdraw that brigade unit. I want to get my brigade into play, so I am going to pull all 3 of these units out of there. I've still got a brigade on the field there. For the Union, I'm sure I'm allowed to pull 3 units as well. I definitely want to pull that, get that onto the field, and now I probably want to pull 1 unit out of this brigade to strengthen it. Do I want it to be the Cav? The Cav isn't really advantaged that much by the first fire. Neither is the artillery. I don't know. Yeah, the first fire is somewhat useful. So what do I do with the silly little thing? I'm collecting a circle here, so I want to take hits on that, maybe? I don't know. I've got a brigade, so I don't really need to. I don't want to lose my only brigade here. So I think what we'll do is we'll take a cav off for flexibility, and we'll take this off. And again, I'm weakening my overall position there, but I need to recycle units. You know, I'm still leaving a lot of wounded units on the board. Okay, I think that is going to put it to the combat phase. I need a little bit of a break. Fast and loose with the ordering because the line of cards is just too big for me to arrange each time where this huge fight is happening at the bridge. Jumping over here, there's something interesting. I may actually want to hit once because card number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, has to be Hooker. He has to be the last card in line. That means I'm guaranteed if I get any hit to whack him. Well, the choices are to discard a card, which kills it, to save him, and then he goes back to the thing, and I don't know how terribly useful he is to me back there. He's only good at the sunken road, which he never made it to. Or just kill Hooker and say, well, that's life, which doesn't really change things, but it means I don't particularly care about doing the hit. So I'll do the artillery. I may skip some of the die rolling. That's just eating up time, I think. So we got no brigade. We're 5s and 6s. No hits. I'm not going to re-roll that. I can take my re-rolls on the Cav. I only want one hit anyway. And then we'll go over to the Union, who obviously want to concentrate everything on here. In order to avoid getting units killed, since I know what the fire number is, I have to keep brigades together. I don't know. I'm going to have to completely reorder this because I started counting and I'm like, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, got to skip him. 5 would put me on a hit on a unit that's a double hit. So I've got to reorder this. Basically, since you know in advance, you can set your units up so that the artillery random fire kind of doesn't, it's not really random anymore. So I don't know. I don't know how much effort is worth putting into that thinking. If I go 1, let's say I do it in this order, 3, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that, I should be able to take all the hits, and that's what I'll do. I don't know. You know. But anyway, he used up 3 of his 5 re-rolls to make sure he got 3 hits. Got picked off, and the rest of the re-rolls were used up over there, but I gotta track him because he still has an infantry over here so that he gets hits on 4, 5, and 6. And I hope I put the damage down. Yeah, it looks like I did. The Confederates are pretty much all damaged. The battle may still swing. This Confederate army is very close to falling apart. Also has a hell of a punch. I just did 8 hits. That covers all the regular units once. And I could kill French. He's my only general. I need him on the line. What if I don't draw another general? I know there are more in here. I know there's a bunch in here because I haven't gotten much. So that's kind of painful. So I'm going to have to really wipe out a unit. And we'll take that with this. That would be the same as hitting the general to do those 3 hits. But I'd do 2 more hits as well. So not too good. Let me make sure I'm killing things that I want to kill. Yeah, I guess. And we'll come back with the Union shots. I forgot about Hood's reroll. He's allowed to reroll all the dice that didn't hit. I did 8 hits out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I thought there were 13. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 8 hits out of 12, so I'm going to get 4 rerolls. I have to remember that because I started firing this. So there's actually more losses on the Union side. Here's the loss profile. The Confederates finally start losing units. 3 units plus I'm going to lose Hood, I think. Just because I can't afford cards. Well, Hood gives me that nice reroll capability. Can I discard 2 crappy generals like Jackson and Pendleton? Let's get rid of those 2 instead to put Hood back in my deck. Yes, it hurts me on the attrition of the cards side, but I have a much better general in play. For the Union, though, man, I had to take French here. Looks kind of like Butler. Because otherwise I'm breaking my brigade, and I just have to count that I'm going to get a leader. You can see the Union's in a lot of trouble on the bridge. I've got this huge flanking maneuver, which is doing a lot of damage to the Confederates, but I was a little smaller to begin with, and that hurts me. And this artillery's over here. I'll be able to withdraw it and shift it over maybe. But now, you know, I'm so damaged, I feel like I gotta shove more troops into there. That should get us back to the beginning of a turn. Let's keep pushing. We're starting to see casualties on the Confederate side, and both sides are, you know, pretty shot up, but the Union has chosen to throw a lot into the flank. What do we have? An initiative card. Well, that goes to the Confederates again, and they make the same choice of terrain. Union makes same choice of terrain. There's not much of excitement here. Once you take the sunken road, you control the battlefield to a certain extent. No more draws. I'm going to figure out what I place, but I was thinking about throwing stuff onto the into the flank because, ooh, let me see. No, they defend this flank. Because I might be able to get some initial shots off while the battle's teetering. The danger, of course, is the artillery in the Union flank can chew up any cav or infantry that I put in the flank. The way things are set up, with only one cav in my hand, I throw Hood down and the rest of the units, and I'm just plowing straight ahead, ignoring that flank. Let's take a look at the Union. Now, they're going to get a lot of cards. 1, 2, so 4 cards. I'm getting close to the end of the deck there, too. I'm going to limit this as much as possible. The Union's throwing all their troops in the line just because they have to. I'm going to limit this as much as possible, but I'm going to force the Confederates. Obviously, they could just win the battle if they cycled back and forth between the two, but clearly that's not what the designer wants. I'm going to force the Confederates to discard a unit, and that will be one of their damaged units. But then I am going to replace Burnsides with Ricketts, who gives me rerolls on all my dice, and that puts me equivalent to Hood here. Pretty good commanders here. I don't remember Ricketts being particularly impressive, but whatever. Okay. And where are we? We're on time to pull back. What do we want to pull back? Good question. Do we want to pull back? There's definitely value to doing so. That's the problem. If we don't keep recycling, we're going to start taking too many hits. I think we can survive this round. We don't care about card draws anymore. Let me make sure. Let me pull a cav back instead. Let me pull this unit out. The only thing we have to do is make sure we have one brigade in that front line of the battle, and we have that because we're not worried about draws. For the Union, geez, you know, yeah, feel like I can't really afford to, but I also feel like I have to. Oh wait, I'm allowed to pull 3 back, right? Let me make sure that I have 3 I want to pull back. I broke up this unit. I pulled 2. I had multiple brigades. Let's pull that 3rd one back as well. Get more recovery. Same thing with the Union. I'm allowed 1, 2. The base is 1, 2, and 3, because I've got a brigade up there. Do I want to risk this? I don't know. I really don't rightly know. See, I got a couple more cards coming next turn anyway. But I think so. I feel like I'm playing closer to the edge with the Union here, in the sense that they might get the shit shot out of them. Ricketts might end up getting killed, and I can't really afford that. But I've still got a little bit of attritional advantage. Plus, maybe something here will get knocked off the line. Attacks, almost all the Confederate units are hit. Obviously, none of the Union ones have been hit yet. There were no hits over there. I've used up all 3 of my reroll. Well, I'll be back. And don't throw burning embers into your dirty laundry. Mainly they hit the floor, and luckily it's a wood floor here, so. Oh, what the hell was I saying? I used my rerolls, which means, you know, for the infantry, I won't be able to get any rerolls over here. That's fine. Now I'll fire back, and we'll see how many Confederate units die. And maybe some Union units too, because the Confederates get a lot of dice coming out. Confederates got some lousy rolls. Union got decent enough ones. We lost a bunch of Confederate units. A bunch of Union units are hit, which of course puts them in a weaker position, but there's less rebels coming at them. So things are more troubled on both sides. You know, I mean, it's coming down to the edge. It's theoretically an exciting type of dice duel or whatever at the end. I can't really fault the combat system itself, other than, you know, hey, these guys are parked, what's up with that? Maybe that's not what's intended. I'm not sure. But it's more rolls than I like. I feel like I'm really just doing something, you know, using that very expensive, in terms of mechanical action, buckets of dice type approach to battle, when, you know, we could calculate out the odds at this point. The one thing I can say is we're not hitting that that pathological situation I was worried might occur, and I don't think it will. Let's say all the Union units were over here in this line. We'd still be getting about the same firepower coming in. Maybe a few more hits from the Confederates, because they would never lose units before they get to fire, but they haven't been so far. And we'd still have the numbers of those Union units telling at this point. So the big thing is, once you get your brigades in place, and the Union actually didn't get a brigade advantage this time. Once you get your brigades in place, you're able to hit on 50% of your dice. If you have big forces, you're going to do enough damage that the other person can't recover it all each turn. So what we were seeing were kind of poorly formed units smacking into each other, where both were able to recover, or bad die rolls, where both were able to recover between the turns. I don't think that's a situation that's likely to occur. And it's not going to persist, I hope. It might if you kill off all your generals. Let's flip a card. But obviously the attrition war seems to favor the Union. They have more units to play. Confederate sympathizers, food and bandages, healing supplies. Return up to 3 injured Confederate cards to the reserve. Well, that's a big bonus. because they get to heal and deploy immediately. That's a great card. Okay, and now we place again. And again, I think the Confederates are just going to place in the line. They're running too low to do anything tricky over on the flank. And the Union and Confederates have both played their cards down. The Union, I haven't taken care of this yet, uses the magic of General Burnside's. He shows up briefly, looks at the bridge, scares some Confederate soldiers away. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see him as that effective in it, but whatever. And then we replace him with Ricketts, which again, this is as close to what I think the game was intended to portray, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to add some kind of rule that says, well, if I replace a leader, I can't replace him again in the same location. That may not be what the intention is. Maybe the intention is when you replace a leader at a location, you have to leave him there. You can't immediately re-replace him. That may be where it goes, in which case this little trick of attrition would not be present. Okay, and now we're heal people. Confederates will pull their units back. Union's probably able to pull 3, I'm not sure. 1, 2, yeah, 3 units I can pull. And I probably want to, just to keep recycling stuff. Get away with that because I see the Confederates are pulling enough units. If the Confederates left all their units there, I would be less willing to expose the risk. But here, 3, 6 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, I mean, I can lose a maximal loss that the Confederates can do to me and still exist. And that makes it worth recovering units as far as I'm concerned. Even though I'm doing less damage. These go. Let's say we used up all our rerolls. And, wow, I'm seeing some weird artifacts, shakiness from the camera. I don't know if that's coming across. Things are glowing and turning weird and whatever. This camera's too complicated for me. We got a couple of hits on the Confederates from that. And now we fight the final round. There is some infantry still over here that can play too. Taking some hits, a couple of units go. My leader. So the problem is Ricketts is good. On the other hand, and I don't want to lose those units, Ricketts is good, and I only have 2 leaders that I could get rid of here. I could save Ricketts by throwing a diamond unit and Sumner away, and that'll keep him alive. Do I want to throw the diamond? I do not want to throw the diamond unit. Yes, it's not a matched unit, but I would rather throw an injured unit that I have to withdraw from the line otherwise. And that puts me to the end of that round. We go another one. I just picked up, there's play for free for a couple of days left. I don't know, some kind of special sale in March on Steam for Crusader Kings 3. I want to take a look, see how it is. And I've played the first 2. I want to see if I like it better than the second one. Because the play style of the second one kind of made me cranky. But there's probably not enough time for me to tell before there's a sale on it too that's like 20% off or something. But it's still kind of expensive. So I'll probably wait 5 years before actually picking it up if I do, once it gets into the not exciting new stuff. But I may be a little slow at whatever's coming next. Or the rest of this if it just keeps going on as a dice fest. But we don't know. Special Order 191. Confederate battle plans discovered and delivered to McClellan. Draw 2 Union cards and play immediately. The Union takes the initiative. The Confederate player discards an infantry card from the game. There are no draws. The initiative switches. And the Confederates have to discard an infantry card from the game. It doesn't say from where. And I sure the hell am not going to take it from anything I can play. So there, those guys die. That loses me a brigade, though, which sucks. All right, well, we'll go through the recovery stuff by putting more cards back, recovering, etc. Much, much better for the Union now. Couple of losses here, one from Burnside's, one from the Special Order. The defensive position doesn't change. This card doesn't change that. It doesn't say it does, so we're not going to change that. But yeah, the Union looks like they're probably going to win this battle unless things swing tremendously. I haven't withdrawn counters from play. I don't want to withdraw my brigade. On to the Confederates. Can I afford to withdraw units? I believe I have to if I'm going to survive. Shit. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. I can't. Yeah. I think I'm just so fucked that there's not much can be done. Wrist hood up here. 3 hits came from natural. I didn't have to use my rerolls yet. Came from the artillery on the board. You know, honestly, I don't think I can afford to keep hood. I think I'm going to be counting on losing a general a turn with what's going on. So I'm going to discard him rather than discarding the 2 generals that I have in reserve. But I think the battle's over at this point. Cav further reduces things. We don't even brigade yet anymore because we don't have a leader on the board. There was no way around that except like I would have lost units otherwise. So that made up my brigade, but I'd have a better to hit chance then if I hadn't taken the hit on Hood. If Hood went back to my hand, he'd still not be on the battlefield. Union had to use up die rolls to not hit. Confederates still have lots and lots of die rolls, so their 1 infantry is almost certainly going to hit. And then I've got Ricketts back here with lots and lots of rerolls. So I believe the Confederates are dead. They are causing only 1 casualty. The Union wins the Battle of Antietam. This has gone a long ways, so I want to come back with a more detailed review of the system and final thoughts rather than put it in here. We saw a number of different interesting strategies play out, though. You know, first of all, there was the, hey, grab a location by the Union, put heavy there. Well, that allowed the Confederates to grab the more important location heavily. Probably a mistake by the Union. Probably is worth more to try to push for this. We saw the flanks become, well, this one became kind of a drain rather than anything else, just as these did, which is not a good thing. If you're going to win this, you want to win it from the flank if you can, so that you can affect the rest of the battlefield more. Winning it straight up, not such a great move comparatively. That froze this though too, which is kind of interesting. And then we saw the attritional capacity of the Union winning things out when it came to a final location, just eventually able to drag it out. It looked like the Confederates were going to win for a while. They got some shitty die rolls in that late game period. Not recently, but early on in it, when they really had the edge on the Union and the Union was starting to build up this flank attack. That flank attack proved to be pretty damn impressive because it gets that first fire advantage. Once it started being able to kill units before they got to fire back, it really became a big deal. Anyway, that's the wrap part. And we'll move on to the review a little later.